just different stereotypes of different styles of white people.
But there isn't. It just kind of is all like in your opinion, you know? Like.
Yeah. You stop trying to put me in a box, then maybe you'll get to know me. Maybe you'll get to know the real me. I got feelings too. I mean, I'm just sitting here.
Stereotype, I would say people judge people by their skin, and by the way they act, and by the way they look. Like it's just like judging a book by its cover before you even read it. A group of white people, they'll look at us like, oh, hide your stuff, these guys might try to do something, or they might try to rob you because we're black. You know what I'm saying? It's just like going to, and like I said, going to a grocery store, you park beside a white person, he pull up beside you, or you get out the car, he get out the car, he wanna hit the alarm button like he gonna steal his car. I can't drive two cars at the same time, bruh.
Stereotyping to me is when you look at someone and maybe by something they say or maybe the way they look or the way they dress, you judge them in a certain way.
Stereotype you just because you dress a certain type way that you are ignorant, you ghetto, or you don't have no common sense. Like I've missed a lot of jobs just because, you know what I'm saying, they stereotype me for me being black and the way that I dressed and act. You know what I mean? You probably look at me and don't even know I did 2 years in college, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people look at me, don't even think I've graduated high school. But shit, I don't let that bother me. People stereotyping, that's just people's ignorance.
The definition of stereotyping is whenever you use very simple, small amounts of examples that, oh, well, maybe this, just because this set group or certain number of people have done it, then all of them have done it. You know, it's just, it's not a really good thing to assume the fact that just because this guy did it, that all of them do it.
Well, acting black's trying to be like the rappers on TV, really. I mean, that's what I see them all. Oh yeah, there's definitely white people that act like that too. There's definitely two different types. I mean, I got a few black friends, they act white, you know, and the same thing. They dress, the way they act, the way they treat other people.
You hear somebody say, you know, acting black and everything, you think of people wearing like baggy pants and riding around in cars, big tires, big rims, loud sound systems, things like that. And just, I guess, the way that most people would put it is acting a fool or just making a scene.
Down to earth type levels, you know, like you have a certain class of white people that consider themselves quote unquote black. They try to wear the do-rags, the baggy clothes, they listen to hardcore rap, they're using the N-word, they're saying nigga all the time, and they just carry themselves on a different level. Then you have the ones that's educated, that was Aeropostale, American Eagle. They talk more intellectual, you know, it's just the way they carry themselves, and the same thing as blacks. You know, you have the black people that's more educated, that look at the world through a different aspect, I guess you could say.
Is, you know, I'm stereotyping when I'm answering these questions, because, you know, like when you think of acting black, you think of, you know, thug status or, you know, pants sagging, rap music, blah, 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 typical things, you know, being acting black or whatever.
Me, I can say a black person act white because all he might have is a bunch of white friends. Being around them so long, picking up their ways and their habits, and for a white person, he been around a black person. Like, you know, I have a soon-to-be brother-in-law that's white, and that's all he hang around is black people. But you don't hear him talk like some of the white people talk around here. He talk like he black, he act like he black, but he white.
How can one person act white? You know, never really thought about it like that, but I guess in the way of stereotypes, clean-cut hair, clean-shaven face, you know, the blue jeans, boots, and V-necks, and, you know, just riding around in trucks, listening to country and things like that.
You're raised and what you're brought up around and how, you know, how your family and, I mean, because it's all about how you were raised, depending on how you're going to be around. I mean, there's racist people, there's not racist people, but it's all about how you were raised and what you were brought up to be like, that determines like if you're gonna have that like way of thinking or not.
When someone says you're acting white or you're acting black, they basically saying that you're not just being human. Why can't we just be human? I mean, I think there is no specific way a person is supposed to act. Some people associate being black as loud, obnoxious, bad credit, bullies, ghetto, scum. Acting white, you know, some people view it as being above the norm, being better, being smarter, you know, being basically important, educated, wealthy. A lot of people associate being white with a lot of those things. They don't imagine it. A white person can be poor. A white person could be loud or from the ghetto. Have no father in the household as well. I think we're all just human. We all go through different things at different times in life.
Like, how can you act black? How can you act white? I mean, you act like yourself. That's who you are. I mean, yeah, I've seen people be bougie and be phony when they get around certain people and start acting a certain way just because they're around certain people. And that's what I call phony, but I've never looked at a person that I knew, you know what I'm saying, the environment they were brought up around, you know what I'm saying. I never judged them. That's just how they were raised. That's just the things they were brought up around, you know what I mean?
And I hate to say this, but if you're raised with a ghetto mentality, 9 times out of 10, that's where you're gonna be, whether you're black or white. It doesn't really matter. If you're brought up in a loving, caring home where your parents want you to do better in life, they want you to succeed, they want you to strive for the best, then usually that's the route you go. Now, every once in a while, you'll have somebody deviate from that path. But 9 times out of 10, yes, it does have to do with the way you're brought up.
No, I don't think it defines the races. The races, only the person the race is defines the person. If they make the music feel like, well, this music ain't no good, it's the devil music. Such as you got some white music seem like it's the devil music. So it's all the same.
I guess from like outside you would say that there's probably like white people music, you know, would be country, I guess, and black people music would be like Tupac or Biggie or something. But I don't know, like, there is, but there isn't. It just kind of is all like in your opinion, you know? Like,
yeah, sometimes when I think hip hop, I do think black people, you know what I'm saying? Or when I listen to, when I think country, I do think, you know what I'm saying, white people and stuff like that. But that's just the way it is. I don't know, but I listen to everything, you know what I'm saying? Music is where I draw the line. I listen to everything.
I'm gonna say Yo Gotti. You think about blacks. You think about that, what that represents. I'm not gonna say it really defines it, but it does have a lot to play, you know, to play with it. You think about Miranda Lambert. You think about country, white people. You know what I'm saying? You think about the down south. You know, you think about maybe out there in Tennessee or, you know, different places like that. It might not define it, but it does have a lot to do with it.
Everything. I listen to, I like to listen to rap. I do like to listen to country. I do like to listen to rock and metal and things like that. And the same goes for black people, you know. There are the stereotypical black people, you know, they ride around, you know, you've got your pants sagging and things like that. And riding around listening to only rap, only hip hop and Lil Wayne and stuff like that. But then I do know some black people that, you know, I guess you could say that they're whiter than I am. There's a guy that I know that I'm really good friends with. He's on a fire department, and he goes hunting, he goes fishing, and he listens to country, he drives a Z71 and stuff like that. I don't even go hunting. I mean, I like to go fishing, but he's definitely not what you would consider as a stereotypical black guy.
Been a stereotype. First, I was stereotyped as being a ghetto girl because I always was seen walking through the hoods, but not many people know that I was raised in the suburban area. And everyone assumes that I would know who 2 Chainz is and other rappers, and half the time I have no idea who they are because I am a black young woman who enjoy pop, rock, country. I enjoy a little bit of hip hop, but I like it with substance. And I think people associate rednecks with country music, music driven by hatred and anger for a specific race, and that's not true. Or, you know, you have to be preppy in order to listen to pop. You have to come from a certain background to listen to rock. You have to be angry and full of hatred and confused if you listen to rock music, and that's not true. I love Green Day, Plain White Tees, 3 Doors Down. When it comes to hip hop, I like Nas, I like Tupac. It's hard for me to think of any new generation rappers because they don't have substance, they lack substance. I like music, any music that inspires people to think outside the box, go beyond their own boundaries, do something good for somebody else. You know, music shouldn't be set to a specific race, a specific area you grew up in, the status, you know. Music should be open to interpretation. It should allow people to feel free, bring you out of the darkness, raise you up in the light. And even when songs seem sad sometimes, through the sadness, you can kind of get a little bit happy. I don't think music should be set to any one standard. I think it is universal, I think it is complex, and it is undefined. That's what music is.
Gas station, and the first time, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting out of my car, even if I speak to the person, you know what I'm saying, even when it's pleasant enough, I mean nice enough to speak to you, just to say, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Automatically you phony and you speak, but you on your way to the store, you hit your lock button on your key 2 times. Like you think I want something out your raggedy ass car. I don't want anything out of you. I work every day just like you work every day, you know what I'm saying? Just because I dress a certain way and act a certain way doesn't mean I'm a thief, I'm a criminal, you know what I mean, or I have a criminal background.
I definitely been stereotyped. I mean, people look at me, I have dark hair and piercings, they think that I'm scary or I'm a bitch, or I don't know, I do get stereotyped often because of the way I dress and the way I look, but when you really get to know me, you would know that I'm not really that scary of a person. I can be, but I'm not a scary, you know, like, oh my God, you have to run from her, she's a witch, you know. I'm not that scary. Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Like, you want to get to know someone, open the book, talk to them, learn, like, see who they really are. Just because of the way someone looks is not, you know, a good way to, it's not the right way to judge someone, is by the way they look and by the way they talk, and, you know, get to know someone before you can, you know, point your fingers. Like that famous Bob Marley quote, I think it goes, who are you to point a finger at me before your hands are clean? It goes something like that. I try to live by that, you know. If you want to get to know someone, you gotta dig deep.
So very, very different. Whether it comes to the way that you talk, to the way that you're brought up, to the things that you believe, the music that you like, the way that you dress. Even though that the human race is so very, very different, we are all still human beings. We don't live forever. We all bleed the same color. You know, we're all born the same way. We all die the same. You know, everybody is on a level playing field. No race, no religion is better than the other. It's really, everybody on earth is just on an even playing field, no matter how you were brought up. And the world can be just a really dark place whenever humanity is tearing at each other, whenever it's brother fighting brother and sister fighting sister. And that's something that man shouldn't be. We were all born as equals, we'll always be equals, and we'll all die as equals.
As far as white America, don't call people boys. Don't call me a girl. My name is Kim. Address me as a person. Don't address me as no child. I'm not that. Don't address my brothers as a boy. Address them as what they are. A man, his name is Jared, my name is Kim. Address us for what we are, not for what you were brought up to call us.
Just about quit judging by the book, you know what I'm saying? Before you get to know a person, I might be the same one you see a day or two ago, hold the door open for you. Or ask you if you need some help when you see me. All I can say is, we all one race. I mean, the color don't make us. It's what's inside that make you.
When you see me cry, doesn't mean I'm always crying because I'm sad. Just remember, when you see me, I have feelings and I am someone too. I might not be important to you, but someone out there thinks I'm really special.